Howdy folks. I don't know how much my camera caught of the video I was trying to make, so I'm just going to redo everything. So this dump truck behind me, um, that's one of my, well, I didn't really buy it to be a project, but it sort of became a project that we need to take care of. So let's get to that right quick, and I haven't really done much on it. Yeah, I think I can kind of catch you guys up on a video. Uh, uh, So when I bought the truck, when I bought the truck, the bed had just been rebuilt not too long before. There we go, and it was attached to this rear piece of it's like a third member, or cross member, whatever you want to call it. In between the frame rails has the panel hitch hooked to it, or bolted to it. Somebody had welded on these hinges here. They look prefabbed. I don't know where in the world they came from, but anyway, hope we get a good look there. The problem is where this cross member was welded to the frame rails here at the ends. As you can see where the metal stretched, it failed. This actually broke. Most of this weld broke off. I only had to cut off a little tiny piece on, I believe it was this side. Yeah, this side over here. I had to cut off a little tiny piece of weld. The rest of it was just flopping around as I drove the truck. The bed would flop. But anyway, so there's the other pieces of the hinges right there. These were attached to a piece of I don't know, it was like 4x6 box steel that's still under the truck right there. And the very first time this truck was used, after all that was done, it broke. So I purchased a truck, tried to contact a few welders. I actually had one look at it, and it came obvious that it was going to be better if I did it myself. So we have removed these other hinge points here, as you can see, so that I can replace it with this piece of, oh shit, that's heavy, DOM. I can't remember the wall. I have to look, but it's a pretty heavy wall DOM, 2.5-inch DOM tubing. I just cut it a few minutes ago. It goes from one side of the subframe of the bed, because this was a unit. This bed was sold as a unit. Where we at? That's the frame rail of the bed, and this is the subframe of the bed here. It's a piece of channel, and then this is the frame of the truck. So I believe this is the way it was attached originally, because we got these little semicircles that were already cut out, and I'm going to reattach it this way. So I have cardboard template here that we're going to rock with somehow. This was for the other side, but anyway, give you the idea. We're gonna, and then it'll be reinforced as well with some more plate. But anyway, so now you kind of see where I'm going with this. And then I have some 2-inch round bar that I'm gonna have turned down to where it fits this tubing, and it'll go through the hole in the plate, which is not just gonna be a hole in the plate. I'm gonna make a boss out of some more of that round bar here to weld into this plate I made right here, or I'm making, and then I'll put that piece of round bar through there and bolt it in. And then of course somewhere in the process we'll have a couple of grease zerks installed. So, but anyway, right now I have just got to the point where I've cut the tubing to fit. I'm starting to clean up my surfaces on either side here, where that hinge plate is going to ride on. I may have to nip a little bit of this piece right here off. Hopefully you can see that. There's a piece of plate that's attaching the subframe of the dump bed to the frame of the truck. So I may have to nip a little piece of this off so I got some clearance, maybe weld it a little more down here. I didn't do this. It's not me, so I'm just trying to fix what was already there. So anyway, just thought I'd bring you guys along for the ride, show what we got going on, and maybe make a video out of it. My next step is going to be to pull a tape on both of these pieces of subframe, right side or left side and right, and the longer side I'm going to go ahead and tack in, get the shorter side equal with it, and then go ahead and tack that in as well, and then start finalizing the design of the ear. And at some point we get to go to the machine shop and have the round bar cut down. All right, so stay tuned. I have got the main foundation for our new hinge in, and that's that piece of 2.5 inch 250 tubing. It's pretty thick walled. Got it ground down so it doesn't look as thick as it actually is. My phone just froze like that. Anyway, so I've got that tacked in on that side. I need to make a support on this side and bring it out a little bit and weld around in there, which I have the template for right there. And that one's be for the passenger side. And as you can see here, the hinge that I'm working on constructing there, that's the template for that. I'm thinking I might, that 1/4 inch doesn't impress me much, so just for the thickness of the plate I might double that up and make it 1/2 inch. Let's see here, where else are we at? Oh yeah, I'm cutting with a 4.5 inch angle grinder today because I had a plan to go to my buddy's shop and use his plasma cutter to cut this stuff out, but best laid plans just didn't work out. So I laid all this stuff out, or my wife helped me lay all this stuff out with a magic marker. I cut out as much as I can with the angle grinder for today. Have a call into a welder buddy. He's got a mobile set up, and get him to come over here with a torch and help me cut out some of the radius pieces. Then once we get them cut out, go ahead and tack weld, or we'll go ahead and weld the hinge pieces together. Weld the supports in behind the frame there, the channel for the hinge, the right there, the channel where the 2.5 inch tube in the DOM is connected to the subframe of the truck there, so make that hinge out of that. Then once I get all that beefed up and kind of welded in, then I will see, I need to go to the machine shop and I got 2 pieces of 2 inch round bar I need to have milled down to fit the inside diameter of that 250 wall tubing, which is like oh god, I can't remember. I could be lying if I said, but anyway, so we're not far from it. I just got to get these pieces cut out with this plate, make turn the templates into actual metal pieces, get them attached to the truck. There might be some clearance issues here. I might have to come in, see where that line is right there that I marked. Might have to come in and like cut that off and then weld it to have room for the hinge to actually rotate there. I'm not sure. Yeah, same issue on both sides. This is obviously an older truck that somebody else has gotten hold of. You can see there where I've already got it, just a little tacky poo in there. Okay, so I got tired of using the grinder to cut all this plate steel. Plus, it was going to be impossible to cut the holes I need. So we ordered a plasma cutter. We'll do a review on that plasma cutter later. But for now, let's cut some steel and make some of our pieces for our hinges. Just like that. And so the end result when it's finished welded. It'll be something like this right here. We'll weld up here. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and put the when I get it all finished, I'll put the pin through the boss here and into that piece of DOM tubing on the back of the truck, and then line it up where it needs to be and go ahead and burn the edges over here into the frame of the bed. I'm also considering, and I've been cutting them out, doubling up these plates and making it 1/2 inch thick. And I think with that and these 2 gussets and this 250 wall DOM tubing, it's going to be plenty strong. I've got some 2-inch round bar that I'm taking tomorrow to have turned down where it'll fit through there. That's going to be my pin. After that, we're in a short rows. I've got a few little backfill pieces I need to cut out to strengthen everything, give me something to weld to and all that good stuff, and I'll be ready to start putting everything together. So I made a little progress on the truck. Got the DOM tubing in place, and I've backfilled a piece over here. Got a little work to do on it. I'm gonna run another pass over right there and down here, and I'm making a piece to fill in right here. I'm learning, guys. I don't know, I'm sure somebody's out there screaming at me with the proper procedure, but I'm making a little sliver piece to sit in there, and I'm gonna burn it in, and that's what I'm gonna do with that, because I'll be doing more work around on this side as well to hold that in, kind of like over here. So I burned this in last night. Oops. See if I can get away with it. And I know it looks like shit. I made this piece and welded it here, and burned it around. See if I can get a better look at it. I'm still, like I said, I'm still learning, guys. There's some places like right here where I made a nice little pretty weld. Places like here where it's not so bad. I'm sure when I grind it down I'll see some things that can be addressed, but it's got pretty good penetration in there. So I'm gonna come in there when I'm done. Ouch! I scratched myself up on the truck. And I've got this plate here. I will attach that to the frame. It won't go all the way over here because it's just the way the frame is. Oops, this thing has a hard time focusing. The new LG K51 5100. So I'll weld that piece in, burn it around the tube all the way around to the frame. Then there's going to be this piece of support here that goes up in there. Oh shit, if I can get it back up in there. Anyway, that goes in there. It'll slide in. It was just in there, I knocked it out. I must not have it right where it goes. And anyway, when I get this boxed around to where it's like this, I'll probably fill them in together, box them in on this side as well. I'm gonna do something similar over here. I may even, if I feel like it, put something here in the center as well. But that's where I'm at now. I purchased a cheap plasma cutter, the Amico APC 50. Oops. And it's been great so far. I had one little issue with the torch, where the soldering, where the wire was soldered to the trigger switch. It broke, so all I had to do was resolder it, but it cuts amazing for $288 shipped to your door. So that's been a big help. So anyway, here's pieces I made to fill in. Okay, so I just got the dog ear for the passenger side, the right side of the truck. Just got it all, well, mostly welded up. I got some, I got it all welded up with I got root pass done with 6011. I'm gonna run a 6013, a 1/8 6013 over it. And typical of my novice welds, I mean, you see some crazy stuff in there, and then you see some, like, every once in a while there'll be a decent weld in here somewhere. Where did I see them at? Oh well, probably not on that side. Anyway, before I ground them down, I wanted to show these welds here. They're some of my better work. I know it looks like ass, but it's really not that bad. Why does my freaking camera not want to focus? Anyway, it's hard to get a welding camera. Anyway, I'm about to grind those down. Start working on attaching these things to the side of the truck, sides of the bed. Long night, long night. Okay, so back out here on this dump truck project again today. I got that little gap filled. I've got some more passes I need to do on the welding to kind of feel like this little spot right here, up here, down here. I'm gonna get it to where it's smooth all the way around like that, but or as much as possible anyway. Not that I mean, to be honest with you, I'd probably walk away from it right now. It's fine, but just for practice, I guess, if nothing else. So I've got that done, and today I have this piece right here cooling down right now. Oh, forgive that. That's side project grill. Anyway, so I'm going to start back here. Oh, forgive the sloppy cameraman. I've got that piece over there. I'm gonna put here, weld that all in, and any of this here that didn't get burned in or burned in good, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And I'm probably gonna put a little piece in here to box that in, maybe. I'm not gonna start that right now. I'll get to that later if I have time, because once I finish that piece, I'll do a piece for right here, and do all this over here. And then I have I went and bought a small brake caliper hone so that I could work on the inside. Here, let's see. Bought a small brake caliper hone so that I could hone the inside of this DOM tubing and get it kind of somewhat reasonably smooth and clean, and so forth like that. So anyway, I'm gonna jump back on that, and I'll get with you for some further progress. Unfortunately, I think I left off with showing you guys that still had to do some work over there. I believe it's all right, but to make it to my satisfaction, I'm gonna do a little more work to that side. Here recently, I have been working in here. Made this little piece here. I gotta finish welding all that in. Actually, I gotta finish welding all this crap in. But then I made a fill-in piece right here. Ties into this piece back there, that piece of plate you see. Fresh metal, rusty metal, fresh metal, rusty metal. Okay, so that came under here and stopped right about there. And then my piece kind of overlapped it here. Dropped down in front of it. Run around and met up right there. I went over with a root pass because I beveled everything. So I went in there with a root pass with a 6011, and that went pretty well. And then I hit it with a 7018, and my 7018s are very old. I believe they've been wet before. You know, they're not cooperating, and I'm not a welder, so that's you know, that's part of it. I'm not a welder, and I'm using that old stick welder right there, the good old Craftsman 230 AC infinite arc amp welder, 100% duty cycle. So it says. I treat that thing like a redhead stepchild. It lives right there on that cart, right out here under a tarp, right where it sits. Plasma cutter, however, I don't do that with. But anyway, so I'm about to get back in here, finish running some bead along that plate, along in here, these little pieces I filled in, and I think I'm going to cap the end with a piece of plate as well. And if I can, maybe do the same thing over here. Then I'm going to clean up the inside of this tube, get a measurement on it, and have some pins made, and work on getting the ears, the outside part of the hinge mounted. Hopefully I'll have that taken care of here real soon. I'm looking to have this done by the end of the week. Where I'm at right now, I want to go ahead and get these pins to where they'll fit in that piece of DOM on the truck. I've scratched the piss out of them. My machine shop guy had that thing to where it was looking really nice. I scratched the hell out of it. That might need to be hit with some emery cloth, because the next step, I want to put the pins through there and into the truck to see where I want to line up that plate right there, the outer hinge, let's call it. Dog ear, I don't know. Anyway, so what I want to do, like I said, I want to put the pin through there, put that to the side of the truck, put the pin through into that piece of DOM on the truck, and kind of line that up before I tack everything into place and weld it off final. The problem is, let's grab our pin. The problem is, the pin won't go all the way in. And I was thinking that it was because of where, ooh, how'd that happen? Crud in there now. I was thinking it was because of where, like that, because I got a mark on it. I welded, but that's actually the part where it's more loose, which makes sense because you know, heat expands. But I really need to get, I'm with this light, I really need to get where I can push it in there another 2.25, 2.5 inches to that brown mark, because the rest of that will be stuck into the hinge itself, the outer hinge, that dog ear there. So I want to be able to get it all the way in there. But I have a brake caliper hone, and I've been working at it, and it got me that far, so I think I'm gonna try to work at it a little bit more before I take this back to the machine shop and have them cut it down. I haven't even looked at the other side yet, so stay tuned and we'll grab a hold of the where'd it go? There it is, the good old Cobalt 24 volt with the brake caliper hone on it. Okay, so now we are making some progress. Finally got my pins back from the machine shop. They turned them down to where they fit inside that DOM. They actually fit in quite nicely. Just enough room for a little grease. I'm actually going to jack the bed up just a little bit, like 1/2 or 3/4 of an inch, somewhere in there, because reasons that I don't have to justify. So once I do that, I'm going to figure out where exactly I want to run the DOM tubing inside that dog ear piece, the outer hinge or dog ear, let's go with that. I'm thinking right now I'm gonna run it flush and use a shim in it if there's any space. If that's the case, then I'm just going to go ahead and pull it off and weld everything together. If not, then I need to set my depth, and then let's see, right now if I run it flush, it looks like I'll need some sort of a spacer up there, which is fine. If I run it flush right here, wait, Flips right there. I might actually have to. What's throwing me off? What was that piece of thing over there? Anyway, so there's a little work to be done there and here. This one actually fits quite a bit better, but I'm thinking I might have to have a spacer right here on this side to pull that out. But anyway, that's where we stand. So once I get that figured out, plates trimmed down to match, weld them together. I don't have any 1/2 inch, so I'm gonna just take these 2 quarters and make them 1. I know everybody's yelling at me right now. Whatever. Yep, that's gonna be the next step. I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna do here, how I'm gonna run these. I'm gonna go ahead and get that welded together. So yesterday I peeled this piece of shit off. If you'll notice, there's a little bit of an offset right here. That's because that plate was right there, and where it had used to come out to here and then was been cut off over to here, the end of it was curled up, and it wasn't letting my hinge sit proper. So I decided, instead of jacking with it, I'm gonna cut it off, and I made another one. Then I could put my outer hinge or dog ear, whatever you want to call it. I don't know why I keep calling it that, whatever. Anyway, this we'll go to this somewhere in that area, and that'll all be welded on there. And of course, the pin will go through the tubing. Oops. On the pin will go through the tubing here on this outer hinge. So without further ado, I went and got me some brand new Radnor 1/8 inch 70/18s. Why is it not focusing? What the absolute frig, gentlemen. Anyway, I've got some 6011s, and I really like those rods. They start really well, they burn really well. And I picked these up while I was there at the welding shop. They were like $12 or $13 and some change, so not quite 14 bucks, and then nice and thick. I've got some here that my dad had left me with his bucket, and I've wore holes in the fingers of them. So, alright, like I said, without further ado here, let's get started. Got a little work to do on this, got a little work to do on that, put it up there, weld it all together. Time to rock out with our cock out. Okay, so I have my dog ear all welded together with the first pass all the way around. I have replaced that plate on the bed here. I'm gonna go over another pass. I was thinking with a 70/18. I might go grab some 60/13s and try some work with them though. I know some people are probably, some actual welders are probably rolling over in their graves looking at my hack job, but guess what? I've had to cut out some of my welds already, and I know they'll stick, and I know they have deep penetration, so I'm not really worried about it. And I don't care what it looks like, because I have a grinder and I can make it look better if I want to. These didn't come out so bad on the dog ear. I need to take my time, I think, learn to get a little bit more comfortable before I actually start welding. You see where I start and stopped and miss a little place there. There's some places on here that still hot. Some places on here that don't look too bad at all. Like, oh, that's not a bad bead right there. Like for an inch. And then it goes back to like just gobstoppering. But as you can see, it's in there. It ain't going nowhere. Had a little bit of a good success going here. For some reason it doesn't look as good on the camera. I don't know. That's not a crack. You can't pick that up by the naked eye. The camera's getting that. I'm gonna grind it all down and go over it again with a 70-18 or 60-13 anyway. Then I got over here and I held a little long, and I think I went back over and got the, I may even long arc that, I don't know. That's some pretty decent beatage along there. Around in there, some pretty decent beads. Not too bad coming up. Oh, I missed that. I need to come up in the inside there. I've already hit this with a 60-11. Actually, I hit it with a 70-18 yesterday, and I've ground it down. I'm gonna go over the entire thing with one pass of a 70-18. This is all 3/32 60-11, and I'm gonna go back over it with a 1/8 70-18. Just because there are places like on the back that I believe are gonna need it. Oh shoot! Bear with me, people. Sorry, headphone users. Like my plug welds, where I put these two pieces of plate together, and then like in here, and of course I'm going to go back over and grind everything down smooth, and I have one more of those. Then we can attach them to the truck and shove the pins in, and up and down she goes, with any luck. All right. Thanks for watching. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so I got this dog ear welded together yesterday. That's what I'm calling it, the dog ear. It's like the outer hinge. This is the part that gets welded to the actual bed of the dump truck, and a pin will go through there and attach it to that piece of DOM tubing. There's the pin for it, actually. But so anyway, I zapped that together yesterday, and I'm getting ready to do this one. I'm just going to show everybody how I set it up. I have one of the fancy little magnetic triangles because I'm not a fabricator, so I didn't invest in a lot of fabricator tools. So I set that up, and now as you can see, I have a little bit of a, if you can see or not, I have a little bit of a gap, so I need to come over this way. Let's use y'all to do that. Let's see here. There we go. Now, tight top and bottom, tight on the side over there, 90 degrees to it. I'm going to zap that together. It's about as precise as I can do with the little tools I have. Anyway, just kind of a reminder that you ain't got to have fancy tools and everything just to get something done. I know welders are rolling over, having a fit cussing at me, but you guys can all kiss my white butt right on the brown spot. The dog ears, or the outer hinges welded on, well, tacked on into place. Made pretty much both of the pins. Huh, that's odd. There you go. And oh, that wasn't there just a few minutes ago before I went and ate dinner. Hope all the chickens are all right. So right now, what I'm doing is I'm getting ready to put the driver's side pin in the drill press so that I can put the hole in it and go ahead and bolt it in the tube there, and then I'm gonna finish welding everything up. That way, if every, you know, as the weld heats the metal, the pin will be in. I won't have to worry about getting it in later. So, got to finish drilling the hole in the pin that goes on this side. I got to drill the hole on that side to the pin, and let's see here. That will be pretty much it. All right, get back at you with another update here real quick. Well, hey everybody, that's where I'm at this point. I have my pins all made up. Welded some end stopper, whatever pieces you want to call them on there. I just kind of cut them out of that plate, plug welded it, went around the inside at one time, ground it down where I could get it back in. Shout out to Strickland's Machine Shop in Wendell, North Carolina for poking the holes in the pin for me when I got frustrated and got about halfway through and broke a bit on this side. Decided I was going to come around the other side. Got about a quarter way through, broke a bit in there, got pissed off, threw my hands up. That morning I actually had gotten a vise for my bench press, or my drill press, and if I'd have kept that instead of putting it back on the shelf when I walked out of Northern Tool, I would have been fine. But I didn't, and I got irritated, so I just ran these over to the machine shop. The same guys had turned these down. These were 2-inch round bar, and they turned them down to it's just a little under 2 inches. That way they fit in my that heavy wall, that 250 wall DOM 2.5. So anyway, those are all together, and at this point right now, what I'm getting ready to do is I am going to pop me a couple holes, one on either side. I'm gonna put me one right here, and then one on the opposite side, on the other hinge over there. I figure that's on top there is the best place for it, for the grease fitting, because the load's going to be on top. Pump the grease in the top, it should force it around, and being up there, I think it's going to be protected being up there between those little gussets. I think it's going to be protected from anything, like whereas if I was to put the grease fitting on the bottom or out the back, it might get broke off. Because I had seriously thought about just running one right there. I still would do that, I don't know. Right now, I like the idea I've got, so let's go with that. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just get right here about the middlewards and center punch it. A timer 3. Then I'll get my, this is a 3/16 drill bit. I'm probably going to start with something smaller and pilot hole it, just because I have better luck doing that. And I'll be using my Cobalt 24 volt drill. These things are absolutely awesome for the price. Alright, I don't have a camera mount, so I'll get back with you when I get done here. Oh yeah, another tool here is the 1/4x28 tap for the threads for the grease zerks. Alright, the bower there checks out. It does pretty good. Like I said, I hogged down on this plate and it was pretty impressive. And when I went to go remove a material, excess weld from this pin right here, it did really, really well. So, as you can see, I got it in. I got it a little closer by grinding the weld off the end there. Then I slid it in, finessed the hole a little bit, let's just put it that way. What I did was kind of dangerous. I ain't gonna explain to you how I did it. But so that's grease zerks, pins on both sides. I'm ready to raise the bed now and do the final little bits of welding. I probably got maybe about 2 foot of bead to lay total, and that includes putting this piece in on either side. I'm going to set these I'm gonna have to adjust them a little bit because the weld to the right there is throwing it off, but this goes up under here, kind of just helps support the pin when welded in there. But anyway, so that's it. That's attached 100%. Good and golden. I'd use it right now to hollow load of stone, but like I said, I'm gonna put a few passes of weld in here, and there's a few around the other side of the bed, or underside of the bed that I want to get to before I call it good, and I'm gonna paint everything I did. Okay. Well, I appreciate everybody sticking around this far. Okay, so this is it. Project complete. This is basically a 1 month overview. I've used it for the last month. Not a welder, but I couldn't find a welder that wanted to take my money, so I did it myself. Kind of proud of it. Ain't the prettiest looking thing out there, but I can carry 8 tons with it, and so far none of my welds have cracked. They look like dog shit. They looked a lot better when I first did them, and then tried to go. It's when I try to make a final pass. I think I tried to cover the whole thing when I don't know. I'm not a welder. Got the grease fittings in. I think that's where the last video was left off. I will have to pull it back around to the welding machine one more time and go over a few things that I didn't do, like this weld here that cracked. I'll just kind of clean it up and go over all of this, because I trust my weld a lot better than I trust that. I don't know who did it. I ain't trying to bash anybody, but anyway, so got it kind of painted up. Got lights on it. They'll work even if they do look ridiculous. That is a tail light from a 1988 or 89 Prelude. Honda Prelude. Put a little paint on it. I got the pins bolted in. I mean, what can I say? It works great. So, next project. I had planned to put some marine plywood, or at least some treated plywood, down in here, and I got started working before I had a chance to grab any of that, so I just cut some stuff up I had and liquid nailed down there until I can get a chance to get myself some plywood put in place, because I had noticed it was wanting to bend the subframe of the frame of the bed there. Future plans are to paint it, pinstripe it. I think I'm gonna pinstripe it gold. It looks more green in real life than it does on the camera right here. The camera makes it look kind of blue. There is a 10-foot plow for the front of it. We'll be doing some snow plowing hopefully coming up this season. Throw a logo on it. I hear you. And put a hitch on it to pull the Mini X with, because we do have the trailer and we have the Mini X over there, so now we just need to hitch. So when time and money allow, the hitch will be next. We do have a lot of projects coming up, a lot of interesting things going down, so stay tuned. Hit the like button, subscribe. Have a good day.
Good job, babe.
Ha 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 ha!